Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to Nancy Drew Danger by Design, where we've got some errands to run. I've written down the stuff here, and hopefully I'll be able to get her some more stuff. But first, maybe I should look around a bit more. We did have the task to look around here properly. Minette masked. At the conclusion of Minette's ball show, the audience leapt to its feet and applauded for a full 5 minutes, electrified by her latest wide, wily, and wild creations, calling for Minette to join her models on the runway and acknowledge their adulation. And at last, join them she did, wearing a mask that she has yet to remove. Why the red-hot American-born designer whose 24/7 line, casual clothes designed to be worn all day every day, set a worldwide trend last spring, has taken to covering her face is a fashion mystery as odd and perplexing as Nehru collars. But then, conventional has never been a word that applies to Minette. Shunning the mainstream from the start, she's committed to designing clothes for normal-sized women, size 12 and up. Her curvaceous creations never fail to be flattering yet flamboyant, practical yet playful. Minette, were she to use her favorite word to describe them, would say that they are simply and totally rude. How has she managed to come so far so fast? She attributes her success to hard work, stubbornness, and the efforts of a gifted psychotherapist.
Looks like this picture was taken before someone splashed paint on the wall over there.
Former employees say she is very difficult to work for, calling her temperamental, egotistical, demanding, and extremely rude, and not in the way Minette uses the word. This is one of Minette's newest confections, unveiled for the first time in Paris. Okay. Some of Minette's rudest creations started on Carol, her favorite form, seen here awaiting its next draping. Minette in her Montmartre studio, an old windmill whose round exterior mirrors her curve-happy designs. Minette does have one loyal subordinate. Carol has been with her since the day she arrived in Paris, and Carol never complains. Nor does she let the fact that Minette considers her to be her lucky charm go to her head. Of course, this is undoubtedly because, as a dress form, Carol doesn't have one. When asked why she wears the mask, Minette simply says, "I'm a fashion designer. Why is not a question I need to answer." Who knows? Perhaps the public will follow suit. Perhaps wearing a mask will soon become a fashion statement, de rigueur of at balls and benefits. Stranger things have happened in this business. Remember plastic barrettes?
Minette named her favorite dress form Carol. Okay.
I mean, why not? Is it now done? The snooping thing.
Oops, haven't done that.
Okay. So there's nothing more here. But that we already looked at, and she was like, "You're not seriously trying to talk to me while I'm working." So, not going to do that again. And we're not allowed to touch that. We could, but I'm pretty sure that would lead to disastrous consequences. So let's just get going. We don't need to make more tea for now. I guess if there's something else we need to look at, we'll need to look at it later. Yeah, we'll need to fix the plotter as well. But for now, I guess we could talk to her again.
Forget something?
Oh, yeah, we've got several things to talk about.
Has this windmill or moulin always been a fashion design studio?
No. In fact, until a year or two ago, this little old lady lived here. When she passed away, this place went on the market and Minette snapped it up. See, Minette has this thing about curves. She claimed working in a quasi-round environment like this would make her more productive.
And has it?
As if. But she has gotten a lot of press out of it. In fact, if there's one thing I've learned from Minette, it's that how a designer behaves is likely to get her just as much attention in the fashion world as what she designs.
Yep.
Why does Minette wear that mask?
All I know is that back in March, on the last day of her big fall show, she showed up wearing that mask and she hasn't taken it off since.
And she's never bothered to explain why?
Sometimes she refuses to say. Other times she says it's because some mysterious man in black threw acid on her. I think it's because she just likes to get people's tongues wagging.
That's a good theory.
Who is Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He's this awesome fashion photographer. But listen, as it turns out, I have to run an errand in that area, so I'll pick up those fabric photos.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'll do it. Finding his studio will help me get more familiar with Paris. In fact, why don't I run your errand, too?
No, that's all right. It can wait. Getting those prints to Jean-Mi is much more important.
Why is that?
Jean-Michel Trequenard is the fashion editor for Glam Glam magazine. All he really is a glorified gossip columnist, so it pays to be nice to him. Which, as you'll find out, ain't easy. His office is the Café Kiki on the Rue des Mauvais Garçons in the Marais. Look for the bald guy at the corner table. He'll have a cell phone in one hand and a fork in the other.
The, Bad Boy Street. Okay. Interesting.
What's with all the red paint that's splattered on the wall in Minette's studio?
I came in one morning last month and there it was. Minette must have had a bad night.
You didn't ask her about it?
Minette always throws things when she's upset. Remember what happened when you first arrived?
Oh, yeah, the potted plant. I get your point. Talk to you later.
Have fun.
All right then. Let's read. Oh, there's a lot. Just before I left, Dad gave me a phone card, which is going to come in handy, seeing as how the airline lost my cell phone along with my luggage. If I want to call Bess and George or Frank and Joe Hardy, all I have to do is find a phone and follow the directions on the card. Okay. Minette's assistant, Heather McKay, seems very glad that I'm here, probably because now she won't have to deal with Minette by herself. I finally met Minette, mask and all. Talk about quirky, but she's very talented. She's designing a dress for the First Lady. When I asked Minette what her favorite color was so I could make her some tea, she said red. When I asked her to pick a number, she said 10. Get this. It looks like Sonny June, the guy who was the assistant before I was when I worked at the Beach Hill Museum. I thought so. In Washington, D.C. was Minette's last assistant, which means I should probably study that notebook he left behind, because as I recall, Sonny may have been into aliens and stuff, but he was also very observant, especially when it came to fixing things. Yeah, there's instructions on how to fix the plotter there. Minette has this weird way of using the word rude to mean good or cool. To say that she's a little eccentric is an understatement. Minette's best friend would appear to be a dress form she has named Carol. Given Minette's social skills, or lack thereof, this is not surprising. According to Heather, Minette threw red paint against the wall in her studio in a fit of anger, frustration, creativity, who knows? Anyway, she got it all over these 3 big stone discs that lean against the wall in there. Whatever they're for, it looks like they've been in there for a long, long time. I just assumed that they were part of the original mill and maybe were used to grind flour or something. Okay, buy 4 things from Square du Vert Galant and pick up the photos and pick up the envelope. Okay, so metro stop Rue du Bac and metro stop Place Monge. And then we also need to go to Square du Vert Galant. Okay. Let's get going.
There's something on the floor here. Looks like someone slipped it under the door. It's for Minette.
Go ahead and open it.
Really?
Make the most of what little time you have left. Soon it will all be over.
Oh no, not another one.
Minette's gotten other letters like this?
Letters, phone calls. They started sometime in April, then they stopped, then they started up again in July. And last month, someone sent Minette dead flowers every day for a week. She locks the letters up in her dodo box over there in order to neutralize them.
May I keep this letter?
Why? I mean, if you were some kind of private detective, I'd say sure, but since you're not, just put it in the dodo box.
But I mean, okay. How do you open this thing?
You don't. There's a lock on it, but Minette is convinced that if she opens it, all the wickedness in there will escape and wreak havoc. In fact, don't say anything to her about that letter. It'll just upset her, and if she falls any further behind, she'll have to cancel her show next month. And if that happens, she may as well cancel her career.
Well, I'll see you later.
Have fun!
Alright, now let's get going. Okay, so we need to go here and we need to go here. And then we need to go to the park.
No, don't say anything. Let me guess. You lost your passport, so you're looking for the American consulate to get it replaced. Only you wound up here because you asked a Parisian for directions, and you thought you understood what he said, only you didn't. Am I right?
Well, you got the part about being an American right.
But you're not lost? Ugh, I must be losing my touch. Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Please don't tell me you're a would-be model who thinks her career would take off if only I would photograph her.
No, my name's Nancy Drew. Minette sent me here to pick up some fabric photos.
Ach, I regret to say I have not printed them up yet, nor will I have time to do so for quite a while. Had I used my digital cameras, there would be no problem, but unfortunately, the essence of those fabrics was better captured by film.
But I need to deliver them to that fashion editor, Jean-Michel Traquenard, today.
My regrets once again. Do you know how to make prints?
No.
Then you will learn. There is a binder on the bookshelf that will tell you how to make prints with the paper I use, which is Krollmeister Escachrome PB paper. The darkroom is through the door with the red light by it, and the 4 negatives from which prints need to be made are next to the enlarger. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Okay. Thanks.
What's this?
That's just a toy I made when I was a boy. Go ahead and play with it if you want. I still do.
Nice camera. Is it digital?
Yes, very high res though. Very limited capacity. Would you like to borrow it?
I'd love to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You never know when a camera will come in handy. That leads to the outside, right? Dark room. This paper has been created under rigorous quality guidelines and demands extra care and special attention in its use. Of course it does. Is already mounted on a special mounting bracket. Make sure that all processes are done in complete darkness. Using any type of light, including red light, will ruin the image. Okay, total darkness. Insert the negative you desire to create a print into the enlarger. Okay, insert negative. Turn off lights. And then turn on enlarger and project image onto the photographic paper for 2 to 9 seconds. Exposure for less or more than this time will destroy the image. Or, okay, 2 to 9 seconds.
Enlarger, negatives, developer, stop bath, fixer. May I take this binder into the dark room with me?
Leave it in here, please. If you take it in there, you might spill something on it.
Okay. Place the paper with the exposed image in a tray of developing fluid for 7 to 12 seconds. So 2 to 9, 7 to 12. And then place the image in a stop bath fluid for no more than 5 seconds. So no more, but it could be less than 5. And then finally, hopefully that's finally, yeah, there don't seem to be any more pages here. Place the photo in a tray of Krollmeister Fixer for 8 to 15 seconds. Light may be turned on after print is removed from the fixer, and then hang the photo to dry. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to write down the times here because I'm liable to forget. Did Nancy write them down? No. So I'll write them down and I'll be right back. Alright, got it. Let's do this thing, I hope. There's nothing else for us to look at in here, right? Can't look in the filing drawers. And then that's just him. Okay, so did he say the photos were in here?
Just make sure you don't knock over anything in there. Some of those chemicals are extremely volatile.
Oh, okay. Well, I will be glad for the second chance feature then. Just in case we end up starting a fire accidentally. So the...
Whoa, look at all those bottles of chemicals. One false move and boom.
So the photos are these four then. And these trays are already in order. So this is the one where we need to place it first. And it'll need to be placed in here for 7 to 12 seconds. And then into the white tray for no more than 5. And then finally into the blue tray for 8 to 15 seconds. And then when we take the paper out of this tray, we can turn on the light and hang the image up here to dry. Okay, so is the paper already in place then?
These must be the negatives.
So we need to put this into the machine.
Looks like the paper is already mounted on the enlarger. That helps.
So here, right? And then we put this in and we turn off the light.
Oh my gosh, it's pitch black in here. With all those chemicals around, I'm going to have to be real careful.
And then we... Well, I mean, there's nothing here for us to interact with. I thought there was like a button here to turn on that thing. But I guess not. So turn on the enlarger for 2 to 9 seconds. 1, 2. And place paper in developing fluid for 7 to 12 seconds.
Uh-oh. One chemical plus another chemical equals...
Oops. So it's in there now, right? The photo's not here. So...
Oh my gosh, it's pitch black in here. With all those chemicals around, I'm going to have to be real careful.
So... That was pause a couple of seconds and then developing fluid.
I broke my timer, so you'll have to count to yourself. You know, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Something tells me I didn't have it in the developing fluid for the right amount of time. Nuts, it didn't turn out.
Okay. Well, 7 to 12 seconds. So 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then no more than 5 in the second tray. 1, 2, 3. And then fixer for 8 to 15. The fixer was like up here.
Shoot.
Oh no! Oops. I'll have to study the placements a bit more. Okay, so I went up too high. The fixer is not quite that high. It's Okay, so these two are pretty easy because you just have to avoid touching that. And then the fixer is up here, but not that high. Okay, let's try this again. And then I'll have to do it 3 more times. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then no more than 5 over here. 1, 2. And then 8 to 15, it's slightly up, but not all that much. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There, all done. 1 down, 3 to go. Looks like fabric to me.
Okay, we can hang it to... Oh, it's already there. Okay. What? Oh, the negatives go back into place, obviously. So, yeah, let's do this in order so I don't do the same one twice. So we've done the second one and now we're doing the first one and then we'll go 3, 4. Right. Okay. So, 2 to 9 seconds. One, 2, 3. And then 7 to 12. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then no more than 5. 1, 2, 3. And 8 to 15.
Oops.
Okay. One, two, three. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, two, three.
Oops.
What? But there's no... I'm sure I wasn't that high. Oh, did it, touch this? Okay, it probably did. One, two, three. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There, all done. Finished another one. It's a picture of fabric, all right.
Okay, 2 more to go. And then... And... One, two, three. And... One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, two, three. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There, all done. I'm getting there. Beautiful. Not very interesting, but beautiful.
Okay, last one. One, two, three. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, two, three. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There, all done.
Oh,
There, I'll just put them in an envelope and I'll be all set.
great. Okay, that's done. Do we talk to him some more now? Let's see if he's got anything more to say.
Ah, you made the prints. Now you get to have the pleasure of delivering them to Monsieur Traquenard.
It sounds like you don't like him.
He's a conceited nixnut who thinks far too highly of himself and far too little of everyone else to do his job fairly.
Heather didn't seem to like him very much either.
I refuse to bow and scrape when I'm in his presence, and he resents me for it. He's not used to that. You see, most people are so afraid he'll write something bad about them that as far as they're concerned, whatever Jean-Mi wants, Jean-Mi gets, no questions asked.
What's your opinion of Minette's assistant, Heather McKay?
Heather's a bright girl. Her crush on me is unfortunate, but I can handle it.
Oh, yeah. Didn't she want this assignment herself? There was some kind of an assignment that she really wanted to do herself.
She has a crush on you?
It's obvious to me that she does. Dealing with models the way I do day in and day out, I've gotten pretty good at knowing what women are thinking and feeling.
Okay. Care to guess what I'm thinking or feeling right now?
Do a lot of women have crushes on you?
Oh, yes. You see, models do their best work in front of photographers they feel they can trust. So to thrive professionally, I've worked hard to develop an aura of compassion and trustworthiness. Unfortunately, all women recognize and respond to it, regardless of the fact that I will never return their affections, Heather included.
Okay.
Why does Jean-Mi need those prints?
Heather said that he wants to use them to illustrate an upcoming story about modern fabrics.
Au revoir.
Adios.
Okay. So I guess we'll be going now. Yeah. Nothing more to do here for the moment. So...
Uh-oh. Dad made me promise not to go anywhere by myself after dark. This'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Wow, okay. Day 2.
Hi, JJ Ling. I'd shake your hand, but I get flour all over you. Oh, and Heather called and told me about your luggage. No worries. I have plenty of clothes in every size imaginable. Your bedroom's down that hall. The airline lost my luggage once, told me it was gone for good and paid me $100. Then 5 years later, my suitcase shows up on my doorstep. And a bill for the $100 they'd paid me. Plus interest.
It showed up 5 years later.
What? You don't believe me?
Oh, of course I do.
Of course I do.
The worst part was I had to toss out almost everything that was in it. Clothes, makeup. I mean, the stuff was 5 years old, right? You like chocolate chip cookies?
I love chocolate chip cookies.
So do I. And the nice thing is, I'm about 3 pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that I need to be for Minette. I have a very high metabolism. So, I make cookies, I eat cookies, and since you're here, I share cookies.
Why does Minette want you to be a size 12?
Contractually, I have to be a size 12. See, Minette is into curves, so she designs clothes for full-figured curvy women. Because I signed on to be a fitting model, I have to maintain the ideal size 12 weight and shape.
Okay.
What's a fitting model?
A fitting model puts on samples from a designer's latest line, so the designer can create each piece on a real live person instead of a dress form. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's totally boring. Plus, you're always getting stabbed with pins. But it pays the bills.
Yeah, that is important.
Does anyone else live here?
Nope, it's just me. And you now. Managed to get a short-term lease. Soon as I'm done being Minette's fitting model, I am out of here.
Can you think of anyone who might be out to get Minette?
Well, Dieter, obviously.
Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He and Minette went out for about 6 months. Then all of a sudden, last April, Minette dumped him. Just tossed him aside like last month's edition of Vogue.
Do you know why she broke it off?
No idea. Although I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Dieter lets his pet boa constrictor run loose in that photographic studio of his.
He has a pet boa constrictor?
That's what I said. Don't you believe me?
Well, I guess.
Hardly anybody knows about it. I think it may be illegal. If you happen to be in there, be careful.
Okay, I guess we got lucky earlier that we didn't run into it.
Heather wants me to pick up an envelope from you.
Oh yeah, it's right over there. Heather needed a bunch of personal information so they can pay me, but I refused to give it out over the phone. I'm real paranoid about that sort of stuff. Don't ask me why, I just am. Go ahead and take it to her.
Okay, so you're paranoid about giving your personal info over the phone, but you're okay giving it in a letter like this? Weird.
I'll let you get back to your cookie dough.
Okay.
Anything more here? For us to look at? Yesterday's news. Soggy summer brings deluge of flooded basements. An unusually wet summer has caused water damage in a record number of homes throughout Paris and vicinity. More than 300 millimeters of rain have fallen in the area since June 1st, almost twice the average amount, resulting in hundreds of complaints to the sewer district. There's really not much we can do, said District Director Pierre Robin. The system can only handle so much rainwater. When our maximums are exceeded, the extra water seeps into the ground and unfortunately makes its way into people's basements. Insurance companies estimate that damage done by summer rains in and around Paris so far totals close to €1 million. Homeowners are urged to repair any obvious cracks in their foundations immediately and to use sandbags to divert groundwater away from their houses. Also, homeowners would be wise to avoid entering a flooded basement until it's absolutely certain that the electricity has been turned off. Oh yeah. If it's any consolation to my fellow citizens, Robin added, my basement was flooded too. ATP fare to increase in coming year. US bingo champion wins again. Mistral storm season to begin early. Study finds French the most intelligent. Ooh. Lost ruins of Roman city discovered. Okay. Oh. Didn't realize we could make it bigger. I guess that's important then. So, take care to not enter flooded spaces until you're sure that the electricity has been turned off. Luckily, there's always the second chance if we get electrocuted. Oh, that's the same kind of cake dish that was in the ranch game. The what was it called? I've already forgotten. Recyclables. more yesterday's news. Grower discontent results in mint shortage. Government aid raised to high post. Université spends, 50 million on upgrades? Minister of Education to resign. Inflation a concern as prices rise. Local mint growers unhappy with the fact that mint prices have fallen to 15 a kilogram are attempting to drive prices back up by withholding and sometimes destroying their harvests. As a result, fresh mint is in short supply in Paris, and both professional and amateur chefs alike have taken notice. Not surprisingly, a black market for mint sprang up almost as soon as supplies started to dwindle. Enterprising vendors do a thriving business in local parks and on street corners, sometimes charging €5 for a single sprig. The rack of lamb is a disaster without my signature mint sauce, lamented Christophe Parmelin, head chef at Le Vert Buffle Bistro, who has been forced to cook without mint for the last 4 days. So the Green Buffalo Bistro? I don't know. Maybe. I add a pinch of mint to everything, echoed Suzette Lamère, a homemaker who has been unable to buy the herb for weeks. At least I used to. Nothing I cook tastes good anymore. It's terrible. While they're hoping their strike will put pressure on their largest customers, the companies that produce mint oil, mint growers, have little sympathy for people like Parmelin and Lamère. Consumers have taken mint for granted long enough, said a grower who refused to give his name. It's high time that changed. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so that's just that. Alright. So, mint growers taking action. We could go there. Or we could go there. Or we could end the episode. I think I'm going to end the episode actually. We'll explore more in the next one. For now, thank you so much for watching and spending a little of your time with me here today. It was lovely to have you. Please remember to be kind to yourself. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.